Now, the first one I have on my list is AI generated voices, right? So basically transcription where you can type something and it can create a very realistic sounding voice of whatever the text is. And so this technology has not been very good in the previous years, but it has gotten really good. There's an open source one called Tortoise, and there's several other ones, but this is one of the best ones that I found. And I was able to actually create text to speech using my own voice. All I had to give it was like 30 seconds worth of me talking. And then it was able to take text and turn it into audio of me talking. And it sounds, I mean, exactly like me. Let me play you a clip of what it was.
This is not actually me talking. It's an artificial intelligence.
Okay, that's pretty wild, right? And honestly, I haven't seen this tech in enterprise level or in a SaaS of this quality. There are, of course, tons of transcription text-to-speech softwares out there, but none of them are doing this good of a job. So I think, it's probably about 80 or 90% of the way there where, your average person is not going to be able to tell that it is software doing the transcription. I think if you listen very closely, you can tell, but I think that this tech is evolving so quickly that very soon you're not going to be able to tell. And this would be incredibly useful for podcasters. I mean, it'd be useful for a lot of different applications, but podcasters could just type out their script and then they could just throw it into your software and it creates an entire podcast from the script in the voice of the person that they want it to be in. So again, I think this tech is crazy awesome. Been following for a while, and I think that this is a very large opportunity if you were to turn this into a software. All right, next up is another AI tool. And this one, honestly, this technology has the power to completely kill stock images. So things like iStock Photo and Adobe Stock Photo, they're all done. They're dead. It's over. And the way you can capitalize on their demise is by using AI-generated images as stock photos. Now, there's a lot of applications for AI-generated images, and they've gotten really, really good just over the past couple years. So DALL-E is one of the most advanced, although there are several others that are honestly competing for this space as being really good AI creation tools, but none of them are focused on stock images. Companies and businesses pay thousands of dollars for just stock images to put on their websites. And the thing is, you could create them for the business and they could be exactly what the business wants. So the business would get exactly what they're looking for, and you would, be able to generate them for free. Or if you're using DALL-E right now, it's like 10 cents an image. And then you can charge them, whatever you want, because people will pay $10, $20, $50 for a single image on some of these stock image sites. So what you can do is you can use AI to generate these images. And I just want to show you, I got into the DALL-E. I was on the wait list for a while, but I got in, and these are some incredible images. This is probably one of my favorites. It's a mythical panoramic floating mountainscape with waterfalls, vivid colors, digital art. Like, this is a beautiful image. And this one is great. You have these waterfall pictures. This one's really cool because it's a synth wave. So you can basically give it exactly what you want, even if it's weird, a corgi with a top hat riding a bicycle, and it can generate an image. This is one of humanoid creatures made of cheese. So this, this is an awesome looking picture. So you can basically give it whatever you want and it can create an image. And what you can also do is you can give it an image and it can create similar images in the same style. So what you could do is you could get a bunch of stock images and you could just upload them, and then you could generate an endless amount of similar stock images that would not be copyrighted. So any image that DALL-E creates, from my understanding, the copyright is owned by the person that put the prompt in to generate it. So you could use it, you could generate a bunch of images, and you could sell those images as stock images to various businesses. So right now, DALL-E doesn't have an API, but they probably will have one very soon, and then you can definitely scale this. But early on, you can just do it as a kind of an agency, where you take on clients and you basically say, hey, I can generate whatever image you could possibly imagine, or they can give you an example of an image that they want, and then you can make them a bunch of images, and then you can charge them, going rate for stock images or a deep discount, because frankly, it doesn't really cost you much of anything to generate these images. So I think that this tech completely ends stock image, or at least completely changes the stock image game. Like, all of the stock image companies are going to have to completely change their model, or they're all going to die. So this is definitely a huge opportunity, and this is just one application of AI image generation. There's obviously tons of other applications that you could go into, and hopefully this kind of is the tip of the iceberg and helps you come up with a bunch of other ideas. All right, this is the last AI one. I know I've done a couple of artificial intelligence ones. I just think that the AI space is very lucrative right now, and you can make a lot of money with any tools. But this is the last one, and then after that, we'll do some non-AI ideas, okay? But this one is basically AI sales copy writer. Now, there are a lot of AI writing tools out there. You have Jasper, Anyword, Copy AI. The thing is, I think almost all of them use GPT-3 under the hood. So there's nothing necessarily mind-blowingly unique about them, but the way that they might have done different added on trainings or something like that. But the reality is none of them are doing what I'm about to tell you, which is basically you have a page builder that you put in information about the product that you're selling, or information about what you want to be included on the landing page, and then it automatically fills in all of the words on your page, right? So for example, this is a sales page for Jasper, and here's the headline, right? This headline could be completely generated by AI. In particular, GPT-3 is actually pretty good at writing short form copy. It's not very good at writing long form copy or long form blog posts or things like that, at least not yet. But it can write really good short form copy. And so you could say, write a headline, write a tag, and then as you scroll down, there's all of this text, right? And as a business owner, you kind of need a landing page. You kind of need to have things on that landing page, but you may not know what to write. You may not know how to write it. And so you can have an AI write it, and that could be your tool. Your SaaS is basically a page builder that automatically populates the whole page with really good sales copy generated by GPT-3. So I think that, I actually have not seen a tool, and I'm not saying there's not a tool, I just haven't seen a tool that kind of brings these two together, the automated or really, drag and drop, easy to use page builders, which there are a lot of, and then like a sales copywriter, which there are a lot of, but I haven't seen those two kind of come together. And I think that would be a very useful tool for really any industry. You could target it at SaaS companies, you could target it at churches, you could target it at healthcare, you target it at anything you want in any market, because every market needs to create websites and landing pages, and every market needs to create sales copy. So that is my last AI idea, I promise, because the next one we're going to look at has to do with AI, but it's taking a turn away from it. Like I said, long form copy, GPT-3 is not the best at it. It's okay, but it needs a lot of assistance. So that being said, that doesn't stop people from still creating a lot of long form content using AI. And I'm no exception. I've actually made several different websites with AI, GPT-3 AI, and a lot of them suck. But actually a couple of them have worked out and are getting a good bit of traffic. So even though it's not the best content, it still kind of works. And so people are still doing it. But the issue is, of course, there's a lot of really low quality content. That was the case before AI, and it's only going to get worse. AI can create decent content, but it's not top tier. I really want to read this type content. And so I think a solution to that is a content curation platform. And there are a few out there, but they're not very good, and they don't work the way that I think they should, I guess. But basically the platform would allow a user to sign up and put in their email subscriptions for newsletters. They'd be able to put in, their favorite blogs so that they can, get like an RSS feed of when their favorite blog posts. So they can basically bring all of their high quality content and bring it all into one place. And the platform should also be able to promote and recognize, hey, a lot of people are subscribed to, this feed or subscribe to this newsletter, and it can recommend different high quality content, curate the content for its users. I think that is a very useful platform. And I think as we continue to expand all of the AI content that's being generated, all of the, relatively low quality content that's being put out there, we need a way to sift through that. And I think a platform that can look through that noise and really pull out the really high quality content could make a lot of money. You could get a lot of users very quickly, and you could have a pro plan, and you could charge, even if you just charge 10, 20 bucks a month, people would be willing to pay that in order to get high quality content, because people are already paying that much. There's plenty of paid newsletters out there, $10, $20 a month for a paid newsletter. And to be able to have all of your newsletters in one place besides your email inbox, and have all of your favorite blogs, and have all of your favorite, maybe content that's posted on certain people's social media feeds, all of that in one place, and then also be recommended more high quality content similar to what you're looking at, would be a game-changing piece of software. So if you make this, let me know, because this is something that I want. So if you go out and make it, I will be your first customer. Okay, last but not least is any kind of software in the low code or no code space. This is a growing trend very similar to website builders maybe 10, 20 years ago. Maybe not that long ago, but website builders like Wix and Squarespace and WordPress made it so that people could just build websites without having to hire a developer and pay a bunch of money. And that's what I see a lot of these low code and no code tools trying to do. They're basically trying to make it easy for people that don't know how to code and don't want to pay a bunch of money to build a software. So you can build a software that allows people to build software. And this is no different than your Wix, your Squarespace, or any other landing page builder. These are pieces of software that enable people to build their own websites. But now it's to build their own software companies. So this is a trend I do not see slowing down. It is picking up. The technology is iffy, right? It's not the best, like the no-code tools that are leading the industry, if you will, are like Webflow and Bubble, and they're okay. They're okay. But you could niche down and you could say, I'm going to build a SaaS that only does forms, right? No-code tool that's just for forms. So, subscription forms or people filling out forms, and they can just embed them on their websites very easily. I know there's several tools like that. And so I know that that's something that people want. So that would actually be a much relatively easier no code or low code tool to make, because you're not having to worry about absolutely everything. But a way to think about it is, what is a tool that a lot of people use that could be made into a no-code tool, right? What is something that everybody is wanting to do with software, but they can't because they don't know how to code, right? Can you make that into a no-code or low-code tool? So I think this is an entire movement. It's an entire growing industry that I think is going to be worth a lot in the next few years. And so if you wanted to build a tool that allowed you to, or allowed your users to build a software company without knowing how to code, or without knowing how to code a bunch, that would be a very profitable and lucrative piece of software. Well, that is all I have for this video. If you have any other suggestions, drop them in the comments below and share your ideas. And I'll chime in and see if I think they're good. Not that my opinion should matter that much, because you should check with your target audience. But if you have any other ideas, comments, or anything, drop them in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.